going to be people who are going to go 2 horsepower out of such a massive engine is like, what? There's also people going to go, there's no IMU, there's no rider aids, it's just one disc up front stopping a lot of weight. So, we're talking about Indian and their new vintage from a luxurious hotel in Spain. So I'm out here to do another test, but I wanted to give you a rundown of the vintage. So we always take a bit of time, look at all the comments, and then as a journalist, I have to write 3,000 to 5,000 words per bike, maybe more. So when we do these videos, it's a bit of a reflection and a look back, which gives us a unique opportunity to have a bit of a chat, really. So, it is, in many ways, a cosmetic exercise. It is an Indian Chief, a current one with a pushrod engine in different bodywork. And that's if you're going to be really, really harsh. Also, there's going to be people who are going to go 2 horsepower out of such a massive engine is like, what? There's also people going to go, there's no IMU, there's no rider aids, it's just one disc up front stopping a lot of weight. But if you're looking at all that kind of stuff, and you're looking at facts, figures, and all that, and how it stops, and rider aids, then you're looking at the wrong bike. You've just got to look at it as almost a piece of art with that Art Deco styling that is so reminiscent of the first bike, which was like the Indian Chief post-war. So that was the stuff they were building straight after World War II. And if you just like the look of it and you just want to go, that looks awesome, then it scores really highly, because Indian have done a fantastic job in the styling to replicate that bike of the post-war. It's got such unique styling, those big fenders as they call them in America. They've gone with a pushrod engine. They've highlighted that pushrod engine with the kind of chrome on the cylinder heads and the silver on the pushrods. You've got the Indian head logo that illuminates on the front fender. You've got a nice, neat little, I think that's like 4-inch circular TFT dash that seems to incorporate with the styling. That really works. That deep red that they've not done in ages, that is so much like the original that was the same red. They do a version in black, but I wouldn't even bother. Footboards, the sweatback bars, all the little attention to details, and it's really mechanical as well. So like those giant fenders are made of metal. It'd been really easy to make them out of plastic or make 3 sections, but it's all one section. It's all done really well. As I say, I think Indian could have put a liquid cooled engine in it. I think they could have given it twin discs. There must have been a massive discussion between the designers, the engineers, and the accountants, because the engineers are going, it's, with a rider you're looking at around 400 kilograms, so it needs 2 discs. But the designers are going, yeah, but if you put 2 discs on it, you ruin the cut of that front fender, so we'll just have 1 disc. And I'm sure there was engineers going, give it more power, make it water cooled, and the designers would say, no, it needs to be push rod. And I'm sure somebody in accounts was like, we don't need to create a new colour. Producing those one-piece fenders is going to be really expensive, but they've gone, no, this is the way we're going to do it. And I think it is absolutely beautiful. In terms of what it's like to ride, it's strange because I'm not a cruiser fan, but I really enjoyed it. Peak torque is just over 3,300 RPM. Peak power is about 4. It's all done with a 4,000 RPM. 2 to 3, just ride 2 to 3, 8,000 RPM. Loads of torque, kind of old school gearbox, but it does the job. It will pull from like 1200 RPM. It's got so much drive and so much torque. If you want to be stupid and you want to be immature, you can dump the clutch off the lights. It'll light up the back tyre. There's no traction control. On a cold Metzler, it just slithers all the way to second gear. And there's enough torque to overtake cars safely and enough drive. But again, you don't need to be chasing the revs. It's all about riding the torque. As you'll probably see in the video, the footboards do touch, but that's to be expected. That's what a lot of bikes do in this class. The rear tyre is a 150 section. It should be a 180 section because all the other bikes are in this Indian Chief range. But they put a 150 in to get it into that rear fender. That makes it steer a little easier. It does feel quite manageable. I would never describe it as light, but there are other bikes in this class that do feel too heavy and too big and too cumbersome, and this doesn't. This is quite, I wouldn't say nimble, but it's nimble and handles well compared to other bikes in this class. And then when we're talking other bikes in the class, it's a difficult one because the BMW R big boxer was the R18. No, it's not the R18. What's the big boxer? The big cruiser. That is lovely. I've ridden that a lot. But that is heavy. But it's got more power and more torque. Harley do a similar bike that's got a little bit more power and more rider aids, a bit more tech, and it says Harley on the side. You could put Triumph's bobber in and Triumph's Speedmaster, which we've got videos on those. And they are much lighter with much revvier engines and bit more peakier, and they've got way more rider aids, and they're cheaper, but they're not a big air-cooled V-twin pushrod like the Indian. So yeah, it's kind of a difficult one because in this class there's bikes that are faster, there are bikes with more power, there are bikes with possibly better handling, there's definitely ones with more rider aids. But the Indian is pretty unique. I think it's just under 20 grand, which is a lot of money, but you can kind of see where the money goes into the design and the concept. Because it's part of this Chief range, in theory, like the saddlebags, the screen, off other Indian Chiefs will fit on the vintage. But I think if you start playing about with it too much, it ruins the looks and the style. I don't want to put a pillion seat and I don't want to put saddlebags on it. The only thing I'd want to do is maybe the exhaust because it's Euro 5 Plus. So in the UK and Europe we get Euro 5 Plus, which means it's a little bit turned down. In America you don't. The American bikes sound better than the UK and European bikes. So maybe I'd be looking at an aftermarket exhaust possibly, or maybe heel and toe on the gear selector, which I quite like when you've got footboards. But that's me being a little bit picky. Hugely enjoyable cruiser to ride. I'm not a massive cruiser fan. But I really, really enjoyed riding this in southern Spain. Funnily enough, we're just down the road from where I rode the bike. But it'd be interesting again to see your comments. As I said, I think there's going to be a lot of comments of not enough power, no rider aids, not enough brakes, it's too heavy, etc. But I think there's also going to be a lot of comments of really like it, looks good, it's attractive, I'd have one in a dream garage. So hope you're enjoying the updates. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for subscribing, and we're going to get round to doing more videos over the next couple of weeks, so I'll keep you updated. Cheers.